Okay, so I am in a bit of a dilemma. I am at a crossroads and I have to decide. Hold on, let me put the camera up on the dashboard here. Anyways, I am at a point where I have to decide if I am going to... Am I going to be able to survive another winter in the van?
Winter is coming.
It's getting cold.
I'm cold.
I imagine you might be rather cold.
It's getting cold. It is the end of September. It's basically October right now. And I'm in Minnesota, if you didn't know. I did it the opposite, the backwards way, and I spent the summer traveling, and now I'm spending the winter in Minnesota instead of winter traveling, summer in Minnesota. So it's getting cold. It's getting very cold. I have to decide what I'm going to do. Can I survive the winter in the van? Last winter, I made it until December in the van. And then it was just unbearable. I couldn't do it anymore. So if I can make it that long again, that means I have 2 months. I have October and November left. It starts to get really cold, but if I tough it out, I can probably make it through those 2 months. And what I have to decide then is, do I rent an apartment or do I leave the state and go south? I have some friends in some warmer climate locations that I could go visit and see and either stay with or just live in the van still because it'd be warm enough then. Or am I going to find an apartment here? I would just up and leave, but the thing is I just started a new job and I would kind of like to stay if I could for, you know, at least a while. So what I have to do is I have to find an apartment, which is not easy to do. Let me tell you what. I have to find a place that I can sublease out on a temporary basis for December, January, February, March, April at the most, so 5 months. I have to find a place to sublease for 5 months if I'm going to stay in Minnesota. I've hit up probably 30 different places so far, and I've had a little bit of luck, but nothing locked in yet, nothing guaranteed, nothing confirmed. So I'm getting a little bit nervous. I don't know if it's gonna come through. I don't know if I'm gonna find a place before December, or even ideally November would be nice to be in a place by that time, because it starts to get really cold in November and December. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a place. And if I don't, then I'm going to have to quit my new job and go south. Just work for a couple months, save up some money from that, and then head out of the state. So that's where I'm at. It's either stay in the van, freeze my you-know-what off, find an apartment that I can sublease here for 5 to 6 months at the most, or just head south come December. I don't understand how people find apartments, man. I think I've been spoiled because I've been doing van life for so long now that I haven't had to pay rent in so long that the idea of paying $600 to $700 a month in rent is just mind-blowing to me. And that's what I'm going to have to do. I might be lucky if I can find a place for $500. But the idea of paying that much a month for rent is just insane to me. And then since I haven't rented in so long, I have like no rental history. So everybody wants like a check. I mean, I have great credit. They could do a credit check. That's fine. But they all want rental history and do this and that and that and this. It's like, man, can't I just give you money? You give me a room to sleep in and we call it even. No, they got to make you do all this. So finding an apartment, a sublease, short-term temporary apartment is proving to be difficult. If you guys can give me any tips on what people do when they don't have rental history and they need to rent a place, how do they do it? Or what do you do? And what do you do if you're looking for a sublease, a temporary place? What do you do? I've done it before and I've lucked out that I've always found friends and stuff like that to do it with. But now I'm just hitting anybody up to try to see, you know, I'm looking online on Craigslist, I'm looking wherever to try to find a short-term, month-to-month type renting situation. The other thing that really annoys me is all these places want to charge you an application fee. They want to charge you $50 just to submit an application to rent a place. I'm sure this is normal to all of you guys or whatever, but to me that's just insane. I have to pay $50 just to submit the application to be considered. And then what if you say no? Then what? I'm just out the $50? Just $50 here, application fee, get rejected. Another $50 here, get rejected. What? All for an application fee just to be considered for an apartment. Dude, I'll just pay you monthly for an apartment or a room to rent. Can't we just work on the honor system? Why do I have to sign a lease? Why do I have to pay an application fee? Why do I have to do any of this stuff? I get it. I know that's how normal society works in the rental economic substructure of our society, or whatever you want to call it. But I haven't had to deal with that in so long that it's just annoying to me. Okay, so that's where I'm at. I got to figure out a place to stay for the winter, or tough it out in the van, but that's not doable in a Minnesota winter, or drive to somewhere warm and just quit my job and hit the road again, which is seeming like a better and better option. And on top of all of that, I've been having some trouble with the van heater, so I can't even get heat in the van right now. The heater hasn't been working. So, the store right now, and I just got myself some antifreeze / coolant. Gonna mix this up with the 50-50 water in this, and then I'm hoping this takes care of it. I'm hoping it's just a coolant issue, which I think it is. And I think I should be good. And I got myself some new, fresh, comfy, warm socks. It's like a little treat for my feet. Love new socks. And these will help keep me warm on these cold nights as I try to decide and figure out what I'm gonna do. We make choices in life and you have to live with them, I guess, right? Consequences. Choices, reality, reaction. This is how life works. So, let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions. I've watched all the videos on how to survive winters in the van. Doing van life in cold climates. And none of them have ever explained to me a way to do it. It's all nonsense. There's always these videos, oh, how to survive deep freeze winter conditions in a van. There's not a way to do it in a place that gets as cold as Minnesota.
You look cold, boys.
It is a bit nippy.
You don't know cold.
And basically what it boils down to is you just bundle up. You get into that sleeping bag, you turn the car on to warm it up, you bundle up. But when it's 20 below, maybe it's doable, maybe you bundle up and you can get through, but it's miserable. And I don't want to spend another miserable winter in the van. Let me know what you think. How do you get in Well, how do you survive in the van in the winter, in your van in the winter? How do you stay warm? How do you rent an apartment with no rental history? How do you find short-term sublease apartments without signing a long-term lease? What are your ideas? I've been looking, I've been doing it, trying to do the best I can. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in the next video, whatever that might be. Bye, friends.